Trump's accuser, E. Jean Carroll, testified for the third day defending her rape and defamation claims against the former president after the judge rejected Trump's request for a mistrial. That was the right decision. Trump's defense lawyer, Joe Tacopina, came today on cross-examination. People have been beating up his performance. I don't think he deserves to get beat up today. Questioning why she didn't go to the police when she returned to the scene of the crime, a department store, 23 times, and suggested the lawsuit was motivated solely by politics and money. Did he do the job he needed to do? High-profile defense attorney Mark Geragos, Florida State Attorney Dave Aronberg for the prosecution here. Geragos, how do you think he did?
Well, based on the reports I heard, he landed some blows, and I think he came out and you mentioned the mistrial motion. He really took some shots at the judge and the judge's favoritism, in his opinion, the sustaining of argumentative objections during cross, one of the most nettlesome things that a judge can do to you when you're in your cross. And even though it was denied, it may have just been a shot across the bow because he knew he was going in for today when he basically pointed out that about 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, there happened to be a SVU, Law and Order episode. And why is that relevant? Because it seems to track the accusations pretty well. And E. Jean Carroll admits to being a Law and Order fan, although she says not of SVU.
Yeah, she said that she didn't watch it. It's too violent. She was a fan of The Apprentice, which was Trump's show. And that raises the question of, if you hate the guy so much for what he did to you, why would you be a fan of anything of his, let alone a television show? Dave, what is the relevance of saying that E. Jean Carroll visited Bergdorf Goodman at least 23 times in the 2000s?
Well, the relevance is to say, hey, if this was such a traumatic place for you, why'd you go back 23 times after it occurred? But, she's going to put up an expert.
Because Trump wasn't there.
Mark my words. Well, yeah, right, because Trump wasn't there. But also, she'll put up an expert to say that this is how people deal with trauma. They can go back to try to make sure that she's strong, show she's strong enough, that this didn't kill her. And so she goes back to prove something to herself. The same thing when they criticize her for laughing when talking about it to others. Well, yeah, that's a way that victims of trauma can react, and they're going to put up an expert to talk about that. Same thing with delayed reporting, Chris. She waited years to report this, but that's pretty typical for victims of sexual assault. So although I agree with you that Tacopina landed some blows, I still think that she's got a decent chance of winning here because, remember, it's not to prove the case beyond any reasonable doubt. It's just by preponderance of the evidence. Is it more likely than not that Trump did it?
And it's harder for the defense to win here because, obviously, you don't need just one juror here. They're going to have to sway a number of people, Geragos, to get past this. What did you feel is the strongest line? Most of the legal insiders are saying it's that Carroll didn't want to do this. She was put up to do this by George Conway, and then somebody else gave her money, and then she had her salary cut at Elle magazine, so there was more financial pressure, and all of a sudden, then she found the cause.
The problem with these cases is, and I think what the defense will argue, is that you can say anything fits the profile. You can say if you screamed at the time, that fits the profile. If you didn't scream, that fits the profile. If you didn't tell anybody in real time, that fits the profile. If you did tell somebody in real time, that comes in as a fresh complaint. So there really is no playbook, so to speak, because everything, you can explain away anything and everything. I will tell you, just based on the most recent verdicts and cases that have been tried, from Kevin Spacey in the Southern District to Harvey Weinstein in California in the LA Superior Court, the jurors, whether you want to say it's old-fashioned or not, the jurors tend to not really buy into that as much as they want to see what the reaction was. They expect a reaction, and they have not been trained as Dave or prosecutors have kind of developed this whole dogma or ideology that, and with experts in tow, to basically explain away anything or any reaction.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.